I'm going to take you through everything you need to know around the Muesliswap decentralized exchange built on Cardano. So if this is your first time ever wanting to get into decentralized finance, DeFi, and you're wondering how on earth you're ever going to use this, this is the video for you. And if you're wondering what's been going on with the Muesliswap DEX in general, this is definitely the video for you. So you can get up to date, learn everything that the team have been working on and building up over the last few months. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so there's going to be a little bit of assumed knowledge in this video, and that is mainly around your wallet, that you already have a wallet set up. I'm using Nami wallet in this video tutorial, and I've already got some ADA assets moved over from an exchange over to the wallet itself. So if you haven't done that yet, you can check through some of my other videos where I take you through the process of moving ADA from an exchange such as Coinbase or Binance over to your ADA wallet. And once you have that ready, you'll be able to participate in DeFi, buy NFTs, and so much more in the ecosystem. Oh, staking your ADA so to a stake pool in the Cardano ecosystem so you can earn those ADA rewards. Very, very important. Then you can participate in voting and all sorts of other things. All right, so let's start off and have a look at the Muesliswap DEX and where they're at the moment. So this is the homepage of the DEX. So after you go into the home page and click on start trading, you come to this market screen, or the swap screen. You come to this market screen here, and here is a list of all the tokens that are currently trading on the DEX itself. It's good to make sure this here only verified projects is ticked or checked. Now these are the tokens that have gone through a vetting process on the DEX itself, so that they know and we know that it's through reputable projects and people that have actually submitted and gone through a verification process of some sort. Now, the other things that you might want to know here is the top movers, the top gainers, and the top losers. So this is the top 3 in each one of those categories, so you know what the markets are doing in general. Further down here is a list of all the tokens, and these are probably the columns that you're probably interested in so that you know what's happening with these tokens. First, obviously the price. Now this is a price in ADA because at the moment the base is in ADA. All the tokens that we're swapping with are against the ADA token. We can see the 24-hour percentage change, the 7-day percentage change, the amount of volume, that's the amount of tokens that have been moved in the last 24 hours, and then also the market cap, so the amount of tokens in the ecosystem multiplied by the base price here, which is 2.329019. So that's the total market cap of the MYIELD tokens at the moment. And last but not least, we have the 10-day moving price. So we can see where that particular token price is going. And here we can see most, well, it's a bit of a mix between the green and the red here at the moment. But for this video tutorial, I'll be going through and just mainly using the MYIELD ADA pair for this particular tutorial. So I'll be swapping and providing liquidity just around this pair here as an example. All right, so let's perform our first swap. Now to swap something, so if you already have ADA in your wallet, we now are looking at swapping it for the MYIELD token. So I'll click on swap from the top menu. And here I can see the price chart for the particular token. I can full screen this so I can actually see exactly what's going on with it. But it's not too important at the moment. I'm also interested in how to actually swap ADA for this at the moment. Now on the chart, we can see a 6-month overview of the data and the price of the particular token. And we can see about 6 months ago, it's almost at the same price, a little bit higher than what it was now. So it's gone from its highs all the way back down to where it is right now. So to get started, I'll need to connect my wallet. So in the top right-hand corner here, click on connect. You choose the wallet that you want. In this case, Nami is my choice. Now, normally, if you've never connected your Nami wallet before, it will ask you for an authorization prompt. That authorization prompt will allow the website to communicate with your wallet. allow that, and that will allow you to perform transactions on it. Now, the way that Cardano ecosystem works, it doesn't perform a transaction at that point. It's just a request for access for future transactions on your wallet. So now I have a balance here of just under 400 ADA. I'm going to swap over 50 ADA for MYIELD tokens at the moment. And here I can see the price of the MYIELD tokens, the total fee that is going to be taken for this particular transaction. Now, there is also a deposit which is returned to me of 1.7 ADA. Now, this is because anytime you transfer or send over a particular native token, the Cardano ecosystem, you have to also send ADA with it. This is done by design so that the ecosystem isn't completely spammed with tokens and NFTs and people just sending them all over the place. There's that little bit of value, that ADA token in there that makes people think, okay, maybe I won't spam the entire network. So that's why that deposit is required, and it is sent back to you with your tokens. So the total price here after fee, 2.4226 ADA per MYIELD token. So it's a little bit higher. That's what we expect. So I'm going to click on swap here, and it checks the order for me. Great, everything looks good, and I will confirm that transaction. Now the prompt comes up, and I just need to sign for that transaction, and my order is placed. So that would just take a little while for that order to go through. Now I'm just checking the transaction history of my wallet here, and I can see the MYIELD tokens came in almost immediately after that swap as well. So great. So now I have 21 MYIELD tokens all ready to go. Now I can do something with this. So now let's have a look at their yield farms and what they're offering in regards to rewards for a user such as yourself providing liquidity to the DEX. Now, there are various liquidity pools here, and we've got the MYIELD ADA one. This is the one that I'm going to be playing around with, and the rewards for that one comes in the MYIELD tokens. And here we can see we get 24,000 MYIELD tokens out of this pool. So everyone that contributes to this one, you get a share of that 24,000 MYIELD tokens. And we can see here over an annualized percentage return, we get that 23% return on our assets that we put into this particular pool. Now, the assets that you need to put in are the liquidity pool tokens for this particular pool here. Now, we don't have any yet because we haven't provided liquidity to this liquidity pool. So we need to provide it in that trading pair. We need MYIELD tokens, and we also need the equivalent value of the ADA tokens. So we need, in this case, we have 21 MYIELD tokens. We also need to put in the equivalent value, which was around 51, 52, I think it was 50 ADA. And then we need to put that into the liquidity pool itself. In exchange, we'll get the LP tokens, which is our representation of our share of that liquidity pool. Hopefully that made sense. I'll show you the example as we put the liquidity in. So let's go and add in liquidity to this pool. Click on liquidity from the top. And here we have that MYIELD ADA liquidity pool. Let's have a quick look at the details. Great, that looks good. Okay, so let's go add liquidity. So this is how you add liquidity to the pool. So like I said, I only have 21 MYIELD tokens. So I'm going to use that maximum amount and add in that value there. And then also I need to put in, you can see the automated calculation there, the equivalent value of that in ADA. In this case, it looks like the value of it's dropping a little bit already from my initial swap, and it's going down to 48.9. So just a little bit of a drop there. So now I can see the details down here. This particular liquidity pool that I'm going into has a fee of 0.3%. I don't think we can change that. No, we can't. The share of my pool doesn't come up because it's probably insignificantly small. And then here we can see the amount of ADA per MYIELD that it costs, or MYIELD per ADA. So I'll click on add liquidity, and this will prompt us for another transaction. So everything there looks good. We've got the 0.2 fee. We're losing one of our assets, which is the MYIELD tokens, which we're using, along with the 48 ADA plus the additional little bit of ADA that we're using to transfer the tokens as well. So let's go sign this. Great, and liquidity is added. So that's incredibly fast. There we go. So I can check here on Cardano scan that my transaction did go through. That is very, very fast. Just pending the confirmations at the moment. Okay, so back to here, and I can see that my balances have updated. The amount of ADA I've got is gone down, and the amount of milk tokens has gone down as well. So I'll just check my wallet to see I've got a transaction that shows I've got the LP tokens in my wallet. Great, and there it is there. And you can see the little bit of extra ADA that was required for that deposit was returned with the LP tokens too. So I can see that there, my assets there. Great, fantastic. So now I have LP tokens for the ADA milk pair. So let's go back to earn. Now I have the option here only to put it into the milk ADA pair down here. Now this one here, the milk ADA LBE, this was a part of the liquidity bootstrapping event. So this is an event to initiate the amount of liquidity on that particular liquidity pool at the very early stages. And there was an open invite for people to provide liquidity at that stage. And in doing so, you get to earn this almost double extra yield for providing that liquidity. Because it's all brand new, it's a little bit of a risk. So that's why there's that incentive to add the liquidity early. And as a reward, you get that 46,000 M yield per day out of that particular pool. So these people that provide this 1 million amount of ADA get to have that extra yield return. So if I click on expand here, you can see my balance here is 0. I'm not allowed to participate in this particular yield farm. But if I expand the details down here on Milk ADA, you can see my balance appear here. So I've got 30,000 liquidity pool tokens for this particular liquidity pool that I can add in. Now I'm going to click on max, and I can put in all my LP tokens for this particular pool. Now there's an interesting little extra thing here called Select a Hungry Cow. And this is a particular NFT that you can add into your liquidity here to boost your actual rewards. Now the team released these NFTs a little bit earlier this year as part of the initial marketing and ramp up process for these liquidity pools that they're creating. If you didn't get one, you can get one on JPEG Store. So if you go to jpeg.store, type in the word Hungry Cows. I'll put links for it down below in the show notes. But you can see they sold 10,000 of them. There's about 2,024 owners. Floor price is fairly cheap at the moment, 38 ADA. But you can use one of these particular Hungry Cows to add into with your liquidity pool tokens to boost your rewards. So if you have a look at one of these cows here, this one's 40 ADA, so $15 US, so fairly cheap. And you can look at the metadata here, the boost factor, 23.7%. So on top of the reward rate that you get that little bit extra 23%, 23.7 was it? 23.7% extra return on your staked liquidity. So let's go have a look at what I've got in my wallet. So I've got two here. I've got one with a whopping 67% and one down here with 33% extra yield rewards. Now, for whatever reason, the pictures of them aren't appearing, but that's not really important. The important thing is the metadata here, which is the boosting factor. Now, in this case, I'm just going to use my my Hungry Cow here with the 33%. So let's click on that one. I can see that come up in the interface. Everything is looking good. Now let's click on stake and start this process. So this will create another brand new transaction. Let me just show you what's going on here in this transaction. So this is it here. So I'm going to lose a little bit in regards to a sending transaction. The two assets that I lose coming out of this are the liquidity pool tokens and my Hungry Cow, which I want to associate with these liquidity pool tokens as well. So let's go back and sign this transaction, and my order is placed. Super quick, super easy to do. So let me just check my wallet to see if that transaction's gone through. Yeah, okay, it's done, it's gone through. Again, a lot faster than what I was expecting. So let me just refresh this screen here. Let's have a look on the left-hand side here, my earnings. So this will show you everywhere in the DEX where you're potentially earning some rewards of some sort or where your liquidity is. So it gives you an idea overall of where all the aspects are. So let's click on my earnings. Now I don't have any liquidity because it's locked up in the farm at the moment. So let's click on farms. Okay, great. So now I've got my tokens in there, and I'll just need a bit of time for that to mature and earn enough MYIELD tokens to do something with it. Now, what can you do with it? It's another native token that you can trade, you can sell, or you can actually lock it in to another part of their ecosystem and then redeem that for ADA in the end. Now, let me show you how that process works. Now, to work with the MYIELD token and do something with it, you do need quite a bit of it. Let's click on MYIELD and find out exactly what we need to do. So here I'll just read this out for you. So yield farming rewards are distributed MYIELD. MYIELD can be staked for 30 days and transformed into a milk voucher. The milk voucher can be used to redeem 1 milk token for 1 ADA. Now, I'm not sure if they meant 1 milk voucher token here, so that might be a slight correction, but we'll find out. The milk voucher is represented by a native token called MVOUCHER and can be traded as every other Cardano native token. Now, at the moment, through the ecosystem, I have a total of 7.1 MYIELD tokens. So not quite this ratio that we need here of 100 MYIELD equals 1 milk voucher. So I don't have enough yet, but what you can do is you can simply trade for it if you are so inclined. So I'm going to click on swap and swap a little bit more ADA for this MYIELD. So I'm going to click on the second token I want, MYIELD. There it is there. It's got a little tick, popular. It's a DeFi token. So that looks legit. Let's click on that one. Great. And I've already, I've had that number in before. So I'm going to just get a little bit more. I'm going to go for 300 of these MYIELD tokens. And I can see my ADA here. So we can see the price here. It's the initial price when it launched, the 0.03. It's all plummeted down to 0.015 now. So it's fallen from grace, but I think this is from people buying and selling, or mostly selling, to get some of their liquidity back. And it's stabilized its price here. And because the market's crashing, it's gone down even further. So here we are at 0.15. So I'm going to perform my swap here. Everything looks good. Sign this transaction. And my order is placed. Now, I'd really like it if, after the order is placed, this confirm order screen disappears. Because now I'm very tempted to just click that again, even though my order is already confirmed, and it's making me execute another order here, and I don't want to because it's already been placed. So it could be a bug on my browser here because I'm using Brave, but once that order has been placed, then that prompt comes up. I expect that place order screen to disappear and let me know that my order has been executed and placed. Now I'm just going to click on Nami Wallet and then look at the transaction history so I can see those assets come in. Okay, so I can see my order, that amount of ADA go out. I can't see my order coming in yet. Oh, there it goes. And there is my order coming in. So now I can see those assets. Let me just check what that is. MYIELD tokens, great. Okay, so now I'm ready to actually start converting, locking in these tokens and converting them. So I'll go back to earn. Okay, click on MYIELD and I can't see my details come up here, but let me just expand this. And there we go. So I can see my balance here is 297. So it looks like I lost a little bit in that swap from slippage. That is something you may need to look into when you're doing swaps as well. So there may not have been enough liquidity on the actual DEX itself to perform this swap. And as a result, I lost a little bit off the top. So the price fluctuated a little bit essentially. So here I can click on max now. I can see the 297. So 7 I had there previously. And yeah, so I only got 290 out of that particular swap. Right, so the ratio here, 100 MYIELD to 1 milk voucher. Okay, so I get 2.97 milk voucher tokens. All right, so let's convert that and stake my MYIELD tokens. Oh, I can see the extra little buy here, buy MYIELD tokens. Now that's a contrast issue here. I can't see the buy MYIELD when I'm hovering, but that's okay. The guys I'm sure will pick up on that. So I'll stake my MYIELD tokens here. Another transaction comes up. Sign that transaction and my stake order has been placed. So I'm just waiting for that transaction to submit to the blockchain, and then I would have had my MYIELD tokens staked and then converted to MVOUCHERs, and then from there I can convert it to ADA. So there's a lot of transactions in this process, and this is one of the downsides to DeFi. If I'm doing this for very small amounts of assets, which I am at the moment. Each one of those transactions that I've performed, and there are a lot of transactions that I've performed, eats away at my profits. And I do have to hold on to these assets for a lot longer, earn a lot more yield and return, so I can actually convert it to a more profitable position. So that's it's one of the downsides to DeFi. If you have more assets, a little bit easier, of course, because those fees become negligible. If you were doing this in the Ethereum space and the gas prices were really high, I would be bleeding at the moment and lose so much in regards to each one of those transactions going through to actually do something. So yeah, it's nicer that we're on Cardano and those fees are almost negligible, but there are a lot of transactions that do go through. So please keep that in mind when you're participating in DeFi. All right, so let's go and have a look at my earnings now. And I should see under here, under MYIELD now, a little bit of an update. There we go. Okay, so now transfer MYIELD vouchers to, transferred MYIELD to MVOUCHERs. There we go, and 30 days left. And then I can cancel that at any time and trade if I need to. So I'm going to keep that there and do an update video later on when my MYIELD here matures to MVOUCHERs, and then I can continue this video tutorial and show you exactly how that part works. So let's go through that process in reverse. Now I do have my farm here, so I'm going to now unstake this particular liquidity that I've locked into the farm. So I've clicked on Unstake, and this will create another transaction for me. So I'll just sign that transaction and order is being placed. Now I should get my LP tokens, my Milk ADA LP tokens back, and my Hungry Cow, which I can then use again in the future on another liquidity pool and continue farming there. So I'm just waiting for that transaction to come through. Okay, so that looks good. So let me just refresh this screen and the farming should disappear from this part. Great, cool. And now if I click on liquidity, so there I can see my Milk ADA LP tokens and all the details around it. So let's expand the details. And here we have the remove liquidity button. So this is me pulling out and going back to my original position. So here I can see when I remove my liquidity at the moment, I will get back my 49 ADA and 21 Milk tokens. Now, this is something really important to note. Now, impermanent loss can totally wreck your position here, and something really important to understand and note. Now, Paul from Trading with Paul did a really good video about impermanent loss. You can check out the links to it in the top right-hand corner there, and you can see exactly how impermanent loss can affect your liquidity pool position. Now, just a quick overview, when you put in your tokens, you're putting in 49 ADA there and 21 Milk tokens as a 50-50 balance. But when people are trading those token pairs, that balance of the liquidity pool will change and differ over time. So if ADA gets really popular, for example, people will be buying the ADA token, and this particular percentage here will drop down 49, 48, 45%, whatever it is. And the amount of Milk tokens will increase because people are selling their Milk tokens for ADA. So suddenly now you have less ADA in here and the price is going up for ADA, and you have more Milk tokens and the Milk token price is going down, and you may look at that and say, hey, I don't really like this position. It's offsetting what I originally had, and now I'm at a loss. But it's not a loss unless you exit and remove your liquidity at that point in time and confirm that loss. Because in a week's time, that position in the market may change and people may say, hey, I don't want ADA anymore. I want the Milk tokens. And start buying up the Milk tokens and rebalancing that position of your liquidity pool. So now you're back at a 50-50 as opposed to 45, 40, 55, which you were when people were trading against it. Now, to offset that movement of your tokens in the liquidity pool and to offset the price loss that you may receive, that's why you get rewarded in the MYIELD tokens, or whatever token that particular DEX ecosystem has. For example, MinSwap has the Min tokens, SundaySwap has the Sunday tokens, Wing Riders has the WRT, etc., etc. So all of those tokens are there to offset your losses, to provide and incentivize yourself to provide liquidity to those DEXs. Now, like I said, if you want a more in-depth video about impermanent loss, there are plenty of them on the internet. There's a lot of tutorials. There's a lot of writing about it as well. Please do look into all of that. It is a risk when you're performing and participating in DeFi, especially providing liquidity as well. Now, a lot of people are participating in this ecosystem because they do want those MYIELD tokens to perform governance actions within the ecosystem. So those governance actions allow you to vote and participate in DAOs, etc. on their platform. So that's why people are after those tokens, so they can perform those particular actions. So with that in mind and impermanent loss at front of mind for you now, I'm going to click on remove. Now this is the share of liquidity I wish to remove. So I'm just going to remove all of it. And you can see here it has moved slightly. So I'm now down to 48.9. And then here I've lost a little bit of my MYIELD tokens there as well. So let's go click on remove liquidity. Another transaction appears and I will sign for that one. And away it goes. My liquidity is removed. And now I'm back to my not original position, but one step away from my original position where now I have ADA and my MYIELD tokens. Okay, so now I'm just checking my transaction and I can see that has gone through there. Great, so I can see my LP tokens disappear. Now I'm waiting for another transaction to actually give my ADA and my MYIELD tokens back. But if I refresh this, my earnings screen at the moment, I'm under liquidity, that should disappear from this screen. Great, okay, and it's gone from there. Okay, I'm just waiting a little bit longer and another minute has passed and now I've got my ADA. I got my ADA back. So I did get my 50 ADA, so a little bit extra there after that return, and I've lost one MYIELD token in that whole process. Okay, so now I'm back to my almost original position. I just need to swap my MYIELD tokens for ADA as well, but I'm actually going to keep on to my MYIELD tokens. I think it's a fairly cheap price at the moment. So that's everything around the Muesliswap DEX, everything around how to perform the swap, how to provide liquidity, how to yield farm, how to convert your MYIELD tokens to MVOUCHERs. I will show you in a future video how to actually go through and convert your MVOUCHER tokens to ADA. I'll get that clarified, but that's it, except for one last thing, which is one little hidden thing that you don't really see, and this is the staking. Now, there's a lot of projects out there that have partnered up with Muesliswap where they're using Muesliswap to distribute their project tokens. So we have CNFT, we've got GT, Snow, Merkaba, and BB Lobster. So I'm not sure what these tokens are. I'm pretty sure they're all meme coins, but you can go through and have a look exactly what they are. You can find out a little bit more detail about these tokens on their website. But for a project point of view, it's a nice way to distribute these tokens out to the ecosystem and give a little bit of extra utility to the MYIELD tokens. Now, if you're just holding these MYIELD tokens, you don't want to provide liquidity onto the DEX itself in the liquidity pool because you're afraid of impermanent loss. You can just stake them here and earn some of these other ecosystem tokens. So that's what I actually did a little while back. And if you click on my earnings here and click on staking, you can see what I've staked for. So in progress, I'm not staking for anything. And the finished ones here, I actually staked for Quest tokens. So this is a little project that I like, the Quest token for their ADA Quest. And I managed to accumulate 326 Quest tokens from my 115 MYIELD. So that was just purely staking it there. I still have my MYIELD tokens, which I've earned, which I can now use in their future governance, and then go through and stake it and earn these extra tokens, which I can then start using to play for on their game, which is absolutely brilliant. So I can, I probably will unstake these particular MYIELD tokens now, sign another transaction, and there we go. Cool. So now after that transaction's gone through, I'll get my Quest tokens and I'll also get my 115 MYIELD tokens back with a little bit of ADA as well, because with sending native tokens on the Cardano ecosystem, you do need to send those ADA along with it. So that's everything around the Muesliswap DEX that I think I needed to cover. If there's any confusion, if you want anything clarified, please leave a comment down below and I'll follow up on the comments there or do a follow-up video if I need to as well. Now, Please keep in mind, impermanent loss can wreck your positions. It's only a permanent loss if you perform the action and withdraw your liquidity in the bad position. Markets may recover, I don't know. Please do your research around permanent loss and how liquidity provision can affect your crypto assets. It's very important that you know that really well before participating in DeFi and providing liquidity to all these various DEXs. Have a look at the particular token that they're releasing as well, such as the MYIELD token. What's that used for? In this case, it's a governance token on the platform used for voting within the ecosystem. So very important that you know all those aspects and exactly what is going on there before you participate in DeFi. And the other thing to note, you did see me sign, I don't know how many transactions in this entire process, but there were a lot of transactions there, and that of course powers the Cardano ecosystem, all those transactions. There's a percentage of that transaction fee that goes to the treasury, etc. And of course, you got to pay for the transaction because that's how the ecosystem works. But those transactions added up. Some of them were 0.8 ADA each, and I'm pretty sure I did over 10 transactions. So keep that in mind when you're participating in DeFi. You do need to have a little bit of ADA, spare ADA to play around with to perform all those actions as well. Now make sure your wallet is staked to a particular stake pool so you can earn those ADA rewards. So if you're not doing anything, you're at least participating that way and earning ADA rewards. Now I do want to do a little shout out for Disco Solaris here. That's a special card pack that the team from Revla dropped for the Disco Solaris team that was organized by Papo, part of the ecosystem in Disco Solaris. I did do an interview with him as well. Really cool guy. That is coming up. That was at Rare Bloom. I think at the moment I'm still going through the interviews that I did at CNFT Con. So I still have a few more of those, and then all of the Rare Bloom ones will come out after that. So they're just coming in when I finally finish the edits for them. So it is going to take a little while, but hopefully all done by the end of November. Almost there. Now, if you got some value out of this video, if you want to support the channel, if you really want to just help out in some sort of way, please give me that thumbs up. It really helps with the channel. Hit that subscribe button so you know when new videos are coming out. Click that notification bell so you get that notification as soon as it comes out as well. Anything helps. Leave a comment, whatever it is. Absolutely love you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debate.